And once inside the pizzeria, we get this iconic shot of Vanessa looking like she just dropped a log. This image, it means a lot to me. Today we're going to be talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's live-action movie, and if you want to see me defrost my middle school self, sit down, grab a nice Diet Coke, and listen to me word vomit about this iconic piece of cinema history. And now I do want to preface that I will only be talking about this movie, its various creative differences with the original source material, and the possible theories I have for the second movie coming out in December. So if you expect me to make a 10-hour long video essay about the entire FNAF universe, from the comics, the books, the journals, the fan fiction, you've come to the wrong place. Go to Game Theory. I'm gonna make mistakes left and right. All I'm here for is entertainment. So go and watch MatPat. Also, disclaimer, I'm not making this video to make fun of furries in any way, shape, or form. Y'all are more free than I could ever wish to be. You have transcended humility in a way which many of us could only dream of. So keep up the good work, guys. And with that, guys, here is my FNAF movie recap. And this movie begins with Paul Blart Mall Cop attempting to vent out of his office like he's the imposter. A little bit strange, but I kind of understand him. Some creature is trying to break down the door to his office. And Paul does eventually vent and finds his way into this dead-end hallway where this creature does his very own take on scat singing, much like Maya from Pen 15. Which this scene does end up culminating in Foxy knocking Paul out. Paul does eventually wake up, but he does wake up strapped into this 50 Shades of Grey chair with the Freddy mask filled with razors gliding into his face. Things aren't looking too good. We're about to lose a key figure in society. A mall cop. Anyways, now that Discount Paul Blart Mall Cop has been terminated, we cut to our protagonist Josh Hutcherson, aka Peter Malark, aka Mike Schmidt, the security guard in the first game of FNAF, waking up and refusing to take his mystery medication. We also get to meet his younger sister named Abby, who has the most curnty bangs this side of the Mississippi. Micro bangs like that, they're unpredictable, unstable. That's a micro boom right there. Fire in the hole! Also, PETA is in fact her primary caregiver because their parents did in fact die. Microbangs aside, we also discover that PETA has a fascination with dream theory, which is this complex idea which questions why humans even dream, and if there is even a way in which humans can control our dreams to access deeper parts of our brains. Oh, isn't he just a smart little boy? Thinking he's better than all of us. Bitch, a book. I read The Magic Treehouse as a kid, but like, I totally read. However, after this introspective thought, PETA does end up catching a potential predator through a mall, tackling him into a fountain while on the clock. Damn. I think we need PETA to reboot To Catch a Predator. With him in power, the entire US government would crumble. I see all you crumbling pieces of milk. And cut to Josh in a meeting with Steve Raglan, who is better known as Shaggy from the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. So, who here remembers Femme Shaggy? I know you gay girls do. Sorry, that was wrong. I'll go back to the shame corner. Yeah, I'll go. But here we discover that PETA's little trip to the stranger danger splash zone was completely unnecessary because that man was the father.
Are you joking?
Oh, that's not, I think that was whoopsie number 2. We also find out that PETA is in fact the master of unemployment and Shaggy is just trying to help him find a, hold my hand when I say this, job. Yeah, I know, I said the J word. I know, my bones feel brittle too, but you can make it through. I live in fear of the word job. Don't even play with me. Don't even play with me. But before PETA leaves, Steve offers him a security gig, but the only problem is PETA cannot work nights because of his little sister. So he rejects the job. I'm there with you, Diva. I reject plenty of jobs. I totally get offered tons of them. But before we can move on from this scene though, I do want to point out that Shaggy did have an odd reaction when he read out PETA's last name being Schmidt, which, I mean, could mean absolutely nothing, or it could mean Shaggy is up to some funky business. I'm on to you, Shaggy.
Mr. Michael
And cut to PETA getting home, and we get to meet Abby's babysitter, Max, who is currently watching TV while Abby is drawing her OCs, and Josh finally hits the hay and dream shifts into a camping trip straight out of a diarrhea medication commercial.
How about some burger with that ketchup?
Everything's better swimming in ketchup.
And yes, I'm jealous of these vibes. They seem absolutely immaculate. I want that to be me so bad. And this trip does end up taking a turn, and not towards Squirt City or Colon Canyon. No, this dream turns into an absolute nightmare when a man kidnaps Peta's younger brother, and it turns out this dream was never just a dream. This dream was a memory, and he relives it every night. And cut to a counseling class where Peta's money-hungry aunt is fighting for custody of Abby, while her lawyer clutches his pearls with the fear of God glazing over his eyes because he is sitting next to the devil. Now in this scene, we get confirmation that the movie takes place in Minnesota, the birthplace of many fuckboy musicians like Bob Dylan, because one of the court documents issued to Mike has the label mn.gov. This movie would be set in the Midwest, wouldn't it? But even with Abby preferring her jobless brother over her Abby Lee Miller adjacent aunt, Peta still needs to get a job, or he may lose Abby permanently. Wait, guys, I think we need to point out the fact that this movie is what the live-action Lilo and Stitch movie thought it was doing. Only this time, spoiler alert, the child doesn't get thrown in the system. Disney, take notes. These blood-hungry AI Build-A-Bears may have something to teach you. So Peta ends up calling Shaggy and takes the mysterious night shift, which I'm not gonna lie, the way he pitched it, this job was low-key giving strip club vibes. Am I wrong? Long hours, low pay, in the middle of the night?
Gonna take all your clothes off.
I think I'm about to lock in. Oh, actually, no, I got tricked. This isn't giving strip club at all. This is giving, just flat out run down Papa's Pizzeria.
A job or not?
How's the pay?
Not great.
Vibe killer, to say the least. Turns out the job was for Peta to become a security guard at this rundown pizzeria called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, which closed down in the 80s, and the owner has kept it going because he's sentimental. Might I say, loser behavior? You're a fool. And might I add, Shaggy, this whole monologue thing you're doing has given you the mark of the killer. Watch your back. We then watch a training video which introduces Peta to the company, and we see two important things. The animatronics glitching the video, and this bearded baddie working on this tweaked out animatronic endoskeleton. And now screenshot that young man into your brain because we have some theories for him later on in the video, okay? Oh, also we get jump scared by Balloon Boy perving on Peta in the locker room. I would do the same. I think I would do the same, guys. Stop the video right now. Stop it. If any of you make a single edit of me doing this, I'm gonna burn you. And early on in the shift, Peta begins to experience zoochosis and wanders around this rip-off Chuck E. Cheese, giving us a sneak peek at the animatronics doing the mannequin challenge. It's a little bit awkward though.
My coochie's itchy.
I mean, they're like not moving. It's like I feel like I just walked in on something. And almost right after clocking in for work, Peta slips into the same diarrhea ad, only this time he gets approached by an army of children whose most unsettling quality is that they don't have a single iPad in their hands. An iPad-less child? I didn't know this existed anymore. Regardless, these 5 children are meant to symbolize each animatronic from the first video game. These go as follows. The blonde one is Golden Freddy, the one with the milady hat is regular Freddy, the kid with the bunny ears is obviously Bonnie, the girl with the pigtails is Chica, and the ginger kid is Foxy. But anyways, none of what I have said yet has mattered up until this point, because we cut to Matt Pat being in this movie. When I heard this legend's voice, the Holy Spirit jolted through my veins. That man has spread this game far and wide, much like a money-hungry megachurch spreading their religion overseas. This man has done wonders for FNAF and Scott Cawthorn. Sadly though, his role is just as a waiter, but damn, does he play that role well. He plays that role so well.
It's just a theory.
Guys, I don't know what just happened, but my clothes are suddenly on the floor. They are all over the floor. I'm not wearing pants.
I'm gonna touch you. Alright, dude. What the flip?
Anyways, the reason why we're at this diner is because Peta's aunt is having a super secret meeting with her lawyer, this random white dude, and Peta's babysitter. Yeah, this two-timing, backstabbing, treacherous little creature has been paid by Auntie Abby Lee Miller to get some dirt on Peta. Ma'am, this is your nephew. Get your suburban wine breath out of his business and have some fun being a childless 40-year-old. This could be the peak of your life Instead, you're wasting it by trying to get a child into your life. Like, I get it, you're trying to get money from the government, but are those penny nickel dimes from the government really that worth it? To have Miss Baby Bangs over here annoying you 24/7? No. And due to PETA having little to no criminal tendencies, they decide to trash the pizzeria the next day so he will get fired. And the babysitter does this for the low price of $1,000. Girl, get a spine, watch Wolf of Wall Street, and negotiate a better pay. Or better yet, unionize your crime squad against this white lady. And moving on to PETA, getting ready to sleep on the job, while Foxy's curtain is wide open, so she is most certainly making her rounds. Eventually, PETA puts his headphones on to listen to boyfriend ASMR as he dreams about his brother's kidnapping. And in the dream, he encounters the 5 kids again. This time, he chases the ginger, who then starts swinging at PETA, and then he screams with black goo coming out of his eyes. Yeah, this kid needs an iPad. That is what happens when a child has no iPad in sight. Oh, and also here is your government mandated jump scare. More importantly, we get to meet Vanessa, who is played by Beck from You, and she is the police officer. Now, Vanessa is in fact from the video games, but she doesn't appear in the games until Security Breach, where she is a fellow security guard / antagonist. So what are you doing here, girl? Anyways, back to the real story, and Vanessa just invites herself into the building, where we get the feeling that she knows this place a little too well. We also discover that the wound that PETA got inside the dream was very much real, so that little ginger bitch has it coming. Now, Vanessa's excuse for knowing her way around the pizzeria is because it's on her police route, and more importantly, she loved this place as a kid, which is like, what kind of demented adolescent brain did you have to enjoy these AI-powered fursuits? She also mutters something about kids going missing, but quickly steamrolls over that statement by giving him the animatronic concert of his dreams. Girl, is this what got your bean buzzing? Are you being serious right now? This did it for you. Fast forward to the morning after, and we see that Vanessa and PETA close up shop, which I have to question. How are you a police officer, yet you have enough free time to just hang out with your narcoleptic friend? Actually, this lazy behavior might just be standard for you people. But after PETA and Vanessa leave the pizzeria unattended, the babysitter, her brother, and their dark-sided squad break into this discount Papa's pizzeria. And here we get a compilation of these irrelevant jobless flops getting fast-tracked to hell, with the curly-haired one being sucked to death by the cupcake, the bearded one being banished to the closet of despair with Bonnie, and the babysitter's brother being forced to listen to Foxy's evil scat music. A tragic day to be unemployed. And while all this carnage was happening, the babysitter was hanging outside, and she makes the choice to enter the building, which was most certainly a choice because she gets immediately baited by the blonde child from PETA's dreams. Yeah, that's Golden Freddy right there. So we're really dealing with real spirits. I think we need a spin-off where Ed and Lorraine Warren exorcise the Fazbear's Pizzeria. I think that would be a much better solution than becoming friends with these murderous monsters. Eventually, the babysitter arrives in the furry construction room, where she sees that DJ Freddy gets on the mic and beckons her to come closer to his mouth, which she obviously does, and ultimately gets grabbed and chomped in half. I know that probably tasted so good though, like the snap of a Kit Kat bar. Anyways, come back to normalcy, where we get to see that PETA is failing to bond with Abby when Vanessa knocks on the door to tell PETA people broke into the pizzeria. And after this bomb was dropped, the two of them decide to create their own DTF, a depression task force, and go for a walk, where he takes a big, steamy trauma dump on Vanessa about how when he was 11 years old, he had a brother who was kidnapped, and he blames himself. Which I get, but also, you too were a child. So if the kidnapper saw you, he would have thought that you guys were a buy one get one free kind of situation. I'm sorry, but I'm glad you weren't there. It's better that he just got one of you, not the two. A double whammy in that situation is not great. But even after their freaked out Papa John's was ransacked and PETA's babysitter's disappearance, PETA still moves forward with work, and on top of that, he brings his little sister to work. Diva, I know you don't know these ghostly cyborgs are made to kill, but you know that this place was recently broken into, and you want to put your sister in danger? Guys, I think we found our brother of the year. I think we did. This little 5-foot baddie. Get him right there, guys. That's him. Also, obligatory balloon boy jump scare. And cut to PETA back on his boyfriend ASMR grind, because not even a break-in will stop this grind. I get it. I actually don't get it. Boyfriend ASMR is demonic. And while he's off in dreamland though, Abby gets woken up by a child's voice who guides her to the stage. Guys, are we about to see a children's drag show? A children's furry drag show? Moving back to Peeta's dream world, where he tells the blonde kid he will give him anything he wants in exchange for the kidnapper's identity. How is this kid gonna know the answer? Peeta is swiftly woken up by his sister screaming bloody murder like a lesbian when she discovers that Natasha Lyonne is a straight woman. I'm not gonna lie guys, I was right there with you. Why is she in But I'm a Cheerleader? And yet you don't kiss girls?
Be gay, as far as I can tell. Or just be yourself. But preferably be gay.
But we do discover that Abby is only screaming because she's being tickled by the animatronics.
I mean it!
What? Turns out the animatronics are kind of nice and love Abby because she communicates with them through drawings. She's kind of like the Lorax, but for furries. She speaks for the furries. And that's powerful. And once home, Peeta notices that Abby has been drawing the kids from his dreams, which she reveals that these kids are actually dead, and they live in the animatronics.
Ghost?
Yeah.
Horse.
We need to get Abby her own ghost hunting TV show. But now that Peeta knows that the kids in his dreams have assimilated Abby into their friend group, he decides to bring her back to Papa's Pizzeria. Girl. See, now you're just asking for it. Also, the lights on the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria sign spell out Ready Fazb. Let's think about that. And once inside the pizzeria, we get this iconic shot of Vanessa looking like she just dropped a log. This image, it means a lot to me. It reminds me of the days that I used to drop logs on the daily. And instead of telling Peeta to bring Abby home, she decides to turn this night into an absolute slumber party. Yeah. And it was at this point that I forgot that this movie was about children being stuffed into death traps, because this is giving Disney Channel original movie vibes. What do you mean we're singing Kumbaya at a slumber party with a bunch of murderous robots? Moving on. But the party does come to an end when she attempts to play with Bonnie's guitar, which ends up shocking Abby unconscious. So, is no one gonna talk about the fact that this robot is a ticking time bomb, tickling an electric guitar? Like real ass electric lightning bolt guitar. This thing could go nuclear at any point in time, and yet it's at a children's pizzeria. And due to this accident, Vanessa goes full on dark mode and threatens to shoot Peeta if he ever brings Abby back to the pizzeria for another furry seance session.
Jack, who were you touching earlier? What was her name? Your mom?
Is this spirit being a smartass by saying that it was touching my mom?
You were the one who made this slumber party an extravaganza. And after this, Peeta has his aunt babysit Abby while he works his 5th night at Freddy's. Guys, I think it's about to be 5 nights at Freddy's. And once inside the building, he immediately gets straight to work and begins sleeping. And once inside that dream, he accidentally agrees to pass Abby over to the animatronics like a blunt. But when he attempts to retract this statement, the kids begin to cut him up. Girl, that's why you don't make promises. However, when he does wake up, he is in the same chair the Paul Blart Mall Cop was in at the beginning of the movie. Only this time he escapes, where he sees the bodies of the babysitter and her squad. So Vanessa definitely knows that the pizzeria has a few health code violations. They've definitely got cockroaches, but they've also definitely got dead bodies. But Peeta's scene is cut short when Foxy corners him with another unconsensual scat performance. And cut back to Abby drawing her dead friends when we get to see that the Golden Freddy is sitting inside of her home perving on her auntie, who he does move forward with killing. I think we all clapped. And once auntie's out of the picture, Freddy takes Abby to the pizzeria by what I can only assume is the 90s version of Uber, which I guess is a taxi, but why is there a taxi driver in the middle of the suburbs of Minnesota at midnight, and on top of that, why is he willing to drive a minor and a freaked out robot? I think you're the freak, sir, for driving the car. Anyways, moving back to Peeta, who's currently being stitched up by Vanessa. What is going on? Anyways, moving back to Peeta, who is currently being stitched up by Vanessa. What is going on? And here Vanessa plot vomits onto us, so bear with me. In the 1980s, a bunch of kids went missing at the pizzeria, and their bodies were never found because they were stuffed into the suits of the animatronics. I feel like if you're watching this video, you already know this, but whatever. And the aggressive tendencies of these children come from the man who killed the kids. This man being William Afton, who, funnily enough, is Vanessa's father. You didn't want to tell us that before? Your father's a serial killer? I would like to know that on the first date. You know, I'm not even gonna take you swimming on the first date. I'm gonna take you to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria and be like, hey, did your father kill these kids? And to add insult to injury, she shows Peeta a picture of her holding his little brother's airplane. Girl, your father was re-gifting you the toys of his victims. And you're not a little bit mad about that? You're not a little bit pissed about the maybe possible murders that your father committed, let alone being re-gifted shit? But now that she's wasted all that time admitting that she knows about the multiple child murders, she gives Peeta a taser and sends him on his merry way to go fight these animatronics alone. You gave him a taser? And that's it? Not even a gun? Bitch, I'd want a bomb. I'd want to nuke Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Who's to say that those little animatronics will even respond to a bullet? They need to be obliterated. They are abominations in God's eye. They need to be struck off the face of the earth. They need to be raptured out of existence. Have you not seen the build of Freddy Fazbear? That is an ungodly being. And once inside the building, Peeta electrocutes Bonnie and Freddy and shocks Chica before she even gets to stuff Abby into the spring-locked version of Ella from the FNAF Silver Eyes book. Finally, Peeta, you did something. And just when you thought they were safe, that little cupcake nibbles on Peeta's foot, which I feel like a lot of you freaks would like to do too. And I can't get too mad at you guys because I did in fact birth you.
Mommy?
And that's how I raised you. And this leads to Abby and Peeta splitting up, thus allowing us to meet the monstrous animatronic which can somehow speak and survive a taser shock. Who are you? Darkside Winnie the Pooh? What are you? You're a freak, that's what you are. This animatronic even moves forward with a monologue where he says he killed Peeta's brother. Sir, how do you know that he has a brother? And finally, we get the underwhelming dookie fart reveal that the yellow guy is in fact Stephen Raglan, aka William Afton, aka Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Did you clap? Because I didn't clap. I stayed silent. Like, I get it, it was inevitable and it was gonna happen, and I know that Springtrap is in fact William Afton, but they already changed so much about the lore in this movie that I was expecting something at least a little bit more fun. But they really give us no time to react to this reveal because Peeta restarts the building's power and Abby pins a piece of fan art on the wall depicting Afton killing the kids, which I guess tells the animatronics that they have to kill Afton. And I understand the whole concept of the drawings having power over the animatronics is similar to the drawings in the closet in the fourth video game, but it felt underwhelming and it really isn't explained much in this movie. But anyways, the spring trap inside of Afton's costume activates, thus incapacitating him, but not really killing him, so he's just kind of stuck in the costume to slowly die over the course of a couple days, weeks, months, or years. And William Afton does say he always comes back, which is like, you corny butt muncher, you will come back, but it won't be in a cool way, it'll be more like a nasty pube kind of way. And I will shave you off, and you're going to be eliminated off my body. So Vanessa, Peeta, and Abby escape the building, and we get to see everybody's lives post this traumatic era. Thank you. In the last couple weeks, Abby has been able to make friends with kids who actually breathe real air and aren't 7 feet tall, and Vanessa is recovering from her father stabbing her. Yeah, that happened. She got stabbed by her own peepaw. That's what you get for not reporting your father, who's a confirmed serial killer. Sorry. However, our final shot is of Springtrap tweaking in the pizzeria while Golden Freddy stares at him. So I guess everything is fine, even though Peeta looks extremely suspicious because his auntie, who was in a custody battle with him, is dead inside of his home. Girl, what? Along with that, both his babysitter and his boss are stuffed inside of fursuits at his place of work. And Vanessa, a cop, is currently in a coma for his stupid decisions. And more importantly, Peeta looks to be a little bit unemployed. There is just no way that the next movie isn't gonna be 5 nights inside of a padded cell.
I find that hard to believe because, girl, you like 5 nights at Freddy's.
What does that mean?
Meaning, man.
Like, am I wrong? That man looks so suspicious. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about the hidden details inside of this movie and what the second movie may bring along. Also, in the credits of this movie, we hear this strange voice spell out the words, "Come find me," which is presumably the voice of the puppet from the second video game. So the puppet is definitely making a cameo in the second movie. Due to it being heavily inferred that Mike's younger brother was Afton's first victim, we can then assume that he will be the puppet in the second movie, due to the puppet being the first victim in the video game. There are also theories that Mike's father is also Henry Emily, the co-founder of Fazbear's Pizzeria, and the reason why Afton kidnapped Peeta's younger brother was out of jealousy of Henry's perfect life. Now this theory is further bolstered by Afton saying that that he kidnapped Mike's younger brother, and Afton having an odd reaction when he sees that Peter's last name is Schmidt, which both of these could have easily been written off as coincidences due to Schmidt being a very popular last name, and the kidnapping of Mike's younger brother could be written off as a coincidence, even though it happened in another state. So I don't know how much of a coincidence that could be. Along with that, the cast of the second movie has in fact been announced, and the cast is just about the same with 3 major additions. The first being Tio Briones, the #1 child actress McKenna Grace, and most importantly, Skeet Ulrich, who is confirmed to be playing Henry Emily. Which if Skeet is playing Henry Emily, that means we get to see Matthew Lillard and him play 2 toxic close friends, and I wouldn't be mad if they had gay undertones again. Even though this time those gay undertones would be buried underneath a bunch of child murders. Who says gay people can't be evil? Oh, wait, I retract that statement. There's literally a horde of people who think gay people are evil. And now let's talk about the teaser trailer for the second movie. In the trailer, we get to see Indo-02, an endoskeleton which makes its first appearance in the second Five Nights at Freddy's video game, which I know this because it has a curved mouth, while the endoskeleton in the first movie has this boxy look-smaxer jaw. It's not the same, it's very different. We then get a shot of Abby biking her way over to the second Freddy's location, which looks like the evil bar from Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. And moving on from that, we also see that Abby has left a note saying, "Gone to fix my friends," so we can infer that she is still pen pals with her murderous robo-friends, and that they seem to be glitching, so she may be going to the second location to get help. Not a bad plan, little girl, but the last time you went and saw these little robos, you almost got murdered. But now we get a shot that shows that Vanessa is still alive and oddly well, but we do see that she isn't wearing that damn police drag anymore throughout this entire trailer. So it looks as though she isn't backing the blue anymore. Did she finally get fired for helping her murderous father stay undetected? Not gonna lie, seems like a pretty viable way of firing your employee. And more importantly though, she does mention they are out there, which probably refers to the animatronics from the second location, because we get a compilation of these shiny new baddies tearing up the streets of this little Midwestern town, much like old white guys at January 6th. Also, Balloon Boy finally gets an animatronic makeover, so we're probably not gonna get a bunch of stupid little jump scares from that little freaky boy. Finally. Because that was probably my biggest critique of this movie. All in all, I thought this movie was really successful and entertaining to me as a fan of the games, but I can definitely see how people who weren't fans of the original lore of the video games would not love this movie at all, because it definitely catered to people like me. Also, it's a little bit annoying how we had absolutely no blood in the movies. I mean, people are fully getting eaten by robots. There's gotta be at least 1 drop of blood. But I guess because they wanted to keep it PG-13, they didn't want to do any blood and gore, which I get it. I'm not asking for like the substance level blood, but I'm asking for a little bit for it to look at least a tiny bit realistic. Instead, we just got these really campy deaths, which I really enjoyed, but it would have been more fun if we got blood. I sound like a tampon craving the blood. The flow will come. Also, I cannot fathom how much work went into creating these animatronic suits. Like, it was such a good idea to make them real suits because it made the world very believable. And if they were CGI, I wouldn't have given the movie a chance, honestly. Anyways, thank you so much for getting me to 3,000 subscribers. It's actually been insane the amount that I've blowed up in the last like 3 weeks to a month. Like, genuinely was not expecting any of this. Thank you so much for watching the videos. Also, I'm going to be doing a live stream of me playing Five Nights at Freddy's around the time that I am uploading this YouTube video. So if you want to watch that, please catch it. It's going to be a fun ride. It's going to be, actually, I'm probably going to be really annoying while playing the video game, but I'll be playing the game. So catch my stream. Along with that, if you have any recommendations for movies that I should be recapping in the future, please drop those in the comments below. But anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. Like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to make the video go viral. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good day. See you later.